By the 1999 television season, the Walt Disney Company, which had bought ABC 4 years earlier, had managed to completely remake the network in its own image as a source of good family entertainment. But there was still a hole in their ratings. 18 to 35-year-old viewers didn't quite take to the network's new squeaky clean fare. Executives started looking for something slightly edgier to add to their lineup, and what better place to start than with products they'd already exploited.
Salsa Shark. We're gonna need a bigger boat.
One of the first big acquisitions Miramax Films made under Disney's ownership was Kevin Smith's cult classic Clerks. The film had resonated so well with young audiences that Disney's Touchstone Television division had already made a pilot for a TV version back in 1995.
Putting on a little weight there, Ray?
No. It's a baggy jacket.
And you're holding yourself because...
Knife fight? Well, you never sell it to me.
You know the law, Ray. No fake ID, no beer. Now get out of here.
Oh, all right, Dante, all right. Well, we'll see if you get my business again, all right?
Man, this sucks. You know, here I am, I'm just hanging out, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. While Veronica, the only thing in it that makes any sense at all is walking away. Oh, I'm sorry, I was thinking about pie.
The 1995 version not only didn't have Kevin Smith involved, he didn't even know that it was being made until after it had failed to sell. A mistake that wasn't going to happen the second time around. In addition to demographic concerns, another thing that happened between the two attempts to bring Clerks to the small screen would also lay the groundwork for the new series.
I know I didn't have an anal probe, and I know that I am not under alien control. I love to sing you.
After Comedy Central's South Park became a huge hit in 1997, other networks were suddenly looking for edgier, adult-oriented cartoons, which gave the Clerks creators an idea. Smith, along with his producer Scott Mosier and Seinfeld writer David Mandel, started developing Clerks as an animated series in the South Park mold. They pitched the show to UPN, who were very eager to buy the show, hoping to rebuild the network around it as a centerpiece, much like the way Fox rebuilt itself around The Simpsons. In the end, though, under pressure from Disney, Smith and Mosier agreed to sell the show to ABC. A decision that Smith regretted almost immediately. Clerks, the animated series, reunited Smith's Silent Bob with the other stars of the original film. Brian O'Halloran as Dante Hicks, Jeff Anderson as Randall Graves, and Jason Mewes as Jay, along with a number of other characters created for the show. The animated versions of the characters were designed by Steven Silver, who would later go on to do the character design for Kim Possible and Danny Phantom, among many other shows. And most importantly, Smith himself took on the head writer position. A recipe for success, wouldn't you think? So, what happened? Well, it can be summed up in 3 letters. First off, ABC executives Stu Bloomberg and Lloyd Braun ran sample scripts and footage past focus groups, most of which were composed of people much older than Clerks' target audience of 18 to 35. The responses they got from these focus groups were almost universally negative, and that colored the network's notes to the producers and their attitudes toward the show. And then when the show finally aired on May 31st, 2000, Bloomberg and Braun used the notes from the focus groups that said that episode 4 was the funniest, and it should be the first one aired.
In the case of Jay versus Dante Hicks, we find in favor of...
We're sorry. Due to circumstances beyond our control, the script to the rest of the episode was lost on its way overseas. Luckily, the episode was finished by the Korean animators. We hope you enjoy the new ending.
We find in favor of...
Big American Party!
This caused major problems the following week when the network finally aired episode 2. Unfortunately, episode 2's main focus was on the proliferation of clip shows on television and was in fact a clip show referencing back to the episode that was supposed to have aired the previous week.
Move around. Make more Star Wars references. It helps us stay warm.
You know, if this were a sitcom and we got locked in a freezer, we'd probably flash back to all our old episodes.
Yeah.
Say, do you remember that time Leonardo opened that convenience store across the street?
Oh, yeah. The convenience store of the future.
This completely undermined the premise of the episode and ruined almost every joke. That was all it took. Citing poor response to the second episode, along with slipping ratings in just about every demographic, except for the one that ABC supposedly greenlit the show hoping to attract, ABC pulled the plug on Clerks, using the show's supposed failure as an excuse to slot in an additional half hour of its mega hit, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Other networks like UPN, Comedy Central, and the Cartoon Network all expressed interest in picking up the 4 remaining episodes of the series, as well as producing new ones. But ABC was unwilling to let the show go and would not relinquish ownership, preferring to just sit on the rights. All 6 episodes were eventually released on DVD the following February, marking one of the first times that such a short-lived show received a home video release. Response to the DVD sales helped Comedy Central finally pry the rights to air the show, although not make new episodes, away from ABC, and the 4 remaining episodes finally saw air on December 14th, 2002. The positive response to the DVD release and the airing of the missing episodes also gave Smith a chance to make sure that Dante and Randall's stories didn't end with their poor treatment by ABC. In 2006, Smith wrote and directed Clerks 2, telling of the 2 eponymous heroes' life after the quick stop. Spoiler alert, it still sucked.
Clerks is drawn by a live studio audience.
Monkey.